Okay, to go along with the video we just released about making a spray booth for under $50, I also wanted to release a video about how to use an HVLP gun to spray your projects. It's one of the easiest ways to finish a project. It's essentially foolproof because once you figure out how to get the good performance out of the gun, it's so easy. It puts on a little bit of material. HVLP stands for high volume, low pressure. So it puts on material with limited air and it delivers a really, really clean, smooth finish. There's no brush strokes, there's no waiting for things to dry so you can sand it. Because of the way that it puts on material, it dries very quickly and you can repeatedly put on coats during the day. So it's a great method for finishing projects. And with the $50 spray booth I showed you how to make, and this is obviously something, you don't need a spray booth to do it, but with that $50 spray booth I showed you how to make, and this cheap set from Amazon, which was about 90 bucks, and it comes with 3 guns for doing like small, really thin finishes all the way up to primer. They work really, really well. I was really surprised at the quality of them. And I'm gonna show you how they work. And I think you'll find that it's easier than you thought. So the kit I got comes with all this stuff you see here, which is everything you need for spraying. When you're spraying, you really need these air filters. This keeps the moisture that is in your compressor from entering your finish and possibly screwing it up. Obviously, if you're not using a water-based finish, that could be really bad. It's got a pressure regulator. Usually you want to spray around, I start about 10 PSI. And then it comes with 3 guns, sort of in order. Actually, they're in this order. For spraying finishes of different thicknesses, this would be like really, really thin finishes. This is kind of all your lacquers and water-based polyurethanes, and then maybe some of your spar varnishes and oil-based polyurethanes. It also comes with wrenches and everything you need. The only thing that you would need extra to put it together would be just Teflon tape, plumber's tape is really great. And then when you're spraying, obviously you want a respirator or a dust mask and some safety goggles. But like I said, I have no affiliation with this company, but I really like this kit. I've had it for a couple years. I just clean it out when I'm done using it, and it's really great. So let's get into the anatomy of these guns, and then I'll show you how they work. So you can see here I have my pressure dial. It's a little misty from previous finishes, but I have it set at 10 PSI. If you don't have one of these, this is the air control on it, but I don't mess with that. And then obviously you have your trigger. This is your fan control, controls the width of your fan. This is your fluid control. This is your nozzle, which again, there's different guns with different thicknesses. More expensive guns, you can change the tips out, but with these, they come stuck in there. And then this is where the air comes out. So fluid comes out the middle there, air comes out of these and controls which way your fan goes. So when it's set horizontally, your fan is going to be vertical. And when it's set vertically, your fan is going to be horizontal. So I'm going to go ahead and put some water in here to show you so I don't spray my nice camera with some finish. And we're going to spray this cardboard. I'll show you what each one of these things do and what you're looking for in a good finish. Okay, so the first thing I like to do is I back my fluid nozzle all the way off. So that's actually rotating it towards the gun. That's going to cut off the fluid. And you'll see here, no fluid is coming out at all. And then I back this off. And with these guns, you can lock it in when you find the setting that you like. And I'll just spray. And that seems to be about a good amount of fluid. But you can see our pattern is very, very narrow. And that is controlled by this dial here. That is the width of your fan pattern. So I'm going to turn that way up, and you'll see it's now coming out a lot wider. And you want even material throughout the width of your pattern. So you'll see it towards the end, it'll thin out just a little bit, but you want even material, and depending on how much you're trying to spray at one time and what you're spraying, you can change this fan pattern control here to change the pattern of your fan. So that is good material flow. When you're spraying, you want to overlap by 50%. So we'll come right here to this part, and I'll start up here. And the way I would spray is like this, and then I would overlap by 50%, 50%. Just like this. And you don't want to be putting on so much material that it's dripping down your project, but you want to be putting up enough that you are building a finish. Honestly, that's just about all there is to it. The one thing I didn't mention, because I put water in here, is you want to strain your materials. You can buy paint strainers at the paint store for like 99 cents, and they're a really good thing to have around just for before you put on finish in case there's any impurities in there. So again, if I open my fan up just a little bit here, we're going to get a nice pattern, and then overlap that by 50%. And you want to make sure that your gun is about parallel to your material. You don't want to be spraying at an angle, because then your pattern will spray out this way. So you want to keep your material nice and even. And with an HVLP gun, it's especially these gravity fed ones, you want to make sure that you're not tilting it so much that it won't go in. You can see it's installed at an angle, so you can kind of get pretty angled before you have to worry about it. Just go nice even. I go 1/1000, 2/1000. It's about 1 second for every 2 to 3 inches. 1/1000. You want to be about 6 inches away from your material, overlapping by 50%. So we're going to hop in the spray booth we just made, and I'm going to show you how I do this on a real project. So now that I've gotten ready to rob a liquor store, it's time to get this ready. And like I said at the beginning of the video, this stuff was so cheap. It was like just a couple bucks. And it's totally worth it to keep your clothes looking fresh and sharp. So what you want to do first is stir your paint. You don't want to shake it because that adds bubbles to the mix and can aerate your paint. You know, lacquer is pretty good about not having sediment, but some of them, like, you know, polyurethanes for sure has lots and lots of sediment. So you want to make sure you stir it till it's a uniform color and you don't feel anything at the bottom of the can. And then you want to make sure that you strain whatever it is you're using. You can buy, like I said, you can buy these really cheap paint strainers. And I don't like to fill the cup up all the way because if your mixture's not right, then you can't add anymore. So after straining our paint, we're going to go ahead and do 50% lacquer thinner, and you do not need to strain your lacquer thinner. Got that in there, it's about half and half. Give that a little stir, and we're good to go. Now we're gonna go ahead and give it a test. Okay, so it's still set where we had the water, so I'm gonna start giving it some more juice here. Oh yeah, that looks good, just like that. Let's check our spray pattern. Yep, I like the fan there. Okay, I'm good with that. That looks really good. So before we waste any more material, let's get in the booth. So I apologize if it looks a little foggy. We have a piece of plastic over the lens so that we can shoot this. We're not going to spray much in here, but I just want to show you some of the spray techniques I use. So if you look here, it's really important not to tilt the gun like this to spray. You want to start pulling the trigger before you hit your material and release after your material, and you want to keep your gun parallel just like this. So if you're going to do this, again, staying 6 inches away, you want to keep parallel on the horizontal plane and then just give it a good spray like this. And overlap 50% like this and do this. All right, I'm going to put my respirator on and get the camera out of here, but I'll check back in with you guys in a second. Well, guys, how's my hair? That's all there is to it. It's really easy, simple thing to do, and it comes out perfect. We just sprayed Sean's thing. It dries as soon as you make a couple passes. I mean, you can go back over it. It makes life so easy, and the finish is just crystal clear. So, guys, HVLP, very simple. If you're new here, please subscribe and go check me out over on Instagram. Thanks for watching, guys. Stay safe in the shop and have a wonderful day.